I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
I got time today. I got time right now. Let me tell you something. You might want to mind your fucking business. You might want to fucking mind your fucking business. Oh, V-Dub said, and you trying to tell me about what V-Dub said? How about, man, you grow you some nuts and talk to V-Dub by your damn self? Can you do that shit? Now, hold on. Let me go on my YouTube real quick. Let me go on my YouTube real quick, and let's see if you responded. If you didn't respond, then therefore, nigga, don't to you two idiots. Do not sit there and talk to me ever again. Nobody was mentioning you until V-Dub said your name. But because V-Dub said your name, oh, it must be true. And in fact, though, it is true. Wait a minute. Stop it. Ricky Manor, he did a video talking about he's done with Donald Trump and MAGA. Oh, man. You scared. Oh, why did V-Dub name drop? Hold on. We gonna show you this shit. Let me show you why I'm gonna do this video real quick. Real talk. We're gonna go right here. No, I ain't gonna show who this nigga channel is. But we're gonna talk about this little white boy right here. We're gonna show this white boy right here. So you mad at V-Dub, right? You mad at V-Dub, huh? Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. So you over here mad at V-Dub. Then why are you blaming me what V-Dub said? Oh, and here's what I said with your stupid ass. I said, I'm going to give you this attention just one time. It's obvious at the 25-minute mark, I stated a citizen's name, not you. No one mentioned your sad and lonely ass until V-Dub says something. I might be a punk, but at least I'm man enough to fight my own battles, which you do not fight your own battles because you keep tagging other people to join into your bullshit. And not enlist others to do it for me. Sit down, be quiet, because you're not that important. And yes, nigga, you're not that important. But that's not who I'm here for. I'm here for you. The white dude right here. Why did V-Dub name drop? You go ask him. Is it so hard for you to ask V-Dub? V-Dub does have a channel. V-Dub does have a channel, jackass. And let me say something to you, jackass. Why do you link? Somebody deleted the comment when I gave you the link. See, now I looked at your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel was what, 2022. Again, who is you? Mastermind. Who the fuck is you? Now V-Dub and myself know who Homeboy is. Homeboy got a problem with women. You might, and we know this nigga since 2005, 2014, 2013, some old shit like that. You might want to mind your fucking business. The man go around here talking about, oh, I got a meat stick. Telling grown men online he got a meat stick. Telling everybody he got a meat stick. Who talks like that? That's why nobody don't want to fuck with your boy. That's why nobody wants to fuck with him. Because your boy's sick in the goddamn head. Let me tell you something, nigga. Don't you ever call me a punk. Because, nigga, if you and me in the same room, there won't be no fucking punk. If me and you was in the same room, there wouldn't be no fucking punk in that room. And I mean that shit. White boy, mind your goddamn business. Nobody is talking about you. Nobody talking about him. Now, if you're so mad that people insulted your boy, J.D. Miles, then therefore then you need to go defend J.D. Miles against Rilo. You need to defend J.D. Miles when it comes to Tommy and Obsidian and O'Shea. Why don't you do that shit? They all insulted your boy J.D. The MGTOW Avenger. Mind your fucking business. And notice, hold on. What's going on, Pierre? What's going on? See, I don't got no team. But you be tagging other people to jump into this shit. You got that nigga named what's his name? He named himself after a toilet paper. You got this one nigga who named himself after a toilet tissue trying to come out. I said, nigga, why you come after me? Because I don't like you. Oh, you missing with you know? Why are you talking about Angry Man? Because Angry Man had a video. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. The Angry Man said it on Fox Soul, bitch. Now back to you. The link's right here. Get your scary ass. Talking about CBC. Everybody know what SBE is. So if you got a problem, JD Miles, with Shame, Blame, Explain, why don't you take that up with Ty City then? Huh? You mad at me because I use the term shame, blame, and explain. Everybody use the term shame, blame, explain. Nobody use that term, that bitch ass term, that sad, lonely term, CBC. You fucking, and you over here going to call everybody fucking retard when you sound like a goddamn retard. That's why you scared to hit anybody's link. You talk all that shit on your channel. You got those losers. See, let me tell you something, nigga. Tommy did not want to fuck with your ass. Obsidian did not want to fuck with your ass. Paul Elam did not want to fuck with your ass. Sandman did not want to fuck with you. Turfling and Monkey did not want to fuck with you. Obsidian did not want to fuck with you. Let's see. I'm naming all the names that you try to attach yourself to. See, you're gonna talk about something else. You gonna do a reaction video, talk about something else that had nothing to do with the conversation. Talk about what I'm talking about, bitch. Because nigga, you've been a bitch for goddamn 10 fucking years on YouTube. You're trying to be Tommy's bitch. Obsidian's bitch. O'Shea's bitch. Them niggas saw you and they said, you're not here to join our club. We don't want you in our club. And then because me and B Jess going at, you try to side with a B Jess. B Jess told you to go kick rocks. B Jess told you, because when he made that live stream about me the other day, you tried to jump in that chat room and no. And I'm saying this though, because you know how I know I was using the chat room is because B Jess mentioned your name. And B Jess said, we don't fuck with MGTOW. We left y'all alone. So how many times you been rejected? Rollo rejected you. Reg, the bad guy, rejected you. Come on now, nigga. You scared to hit the link. You and that white boy is scared to hit this goddamn link. But you over here want to talk about V-Dub. V-Dub. Why did V-Dub did this and why did V-Dub did this? Who gives a fuck? Fuck you ask V-Dub your damn self. What? Why you scared of V-Dub? Oh, it's because V-Dub wears three-piece suits and your white ass don't? See, me tell you something. I'm not dig. Let me put something on the wood. I'm not here to dick ride on V-Dub. But because I know V-Dub for 15 years, V-Dub is a man who travels the world. You niggas can't even travel at all. V-Dub holds shows with politicians and shit. Actually, I do that too, by the way. What do you do? Oh, women. Women ain't shit. We red pill. You trying to binge. You trying to, and I made that video to BGS. Here is you trying to save the day for BGS. BGS and Anger Man need to be called the fuck out. And nigga, you can't call me out. You said something to you, bitch ass nigga. You are no authority to call nobody out. You can't call nobody out. Like how some of you niggas, and that's why that statement from V-Dub hit y'all so hard. Some of you niggas over here talking about fat women. You got two niggas. I'm gonna use Nate and that bitch ass nigga from Georgia. You got two niggas from the state of Florida and Georgia. No, actually, you got two niggas in Florida saying black women are fat. Black women are disgusting. And I'm looking at the pictures because they filmed themselves. One nigga is 500 pounds. The other one is 400. But y'all got to go complain about fat women and fat black women. You got no business talking. So that goes right back to you, JD Miles. You got no business talking. A citizen got no fucking business to talk. Y'all talk black women, their hair weave. Black women did this. Black women did that. And no, nigga, we talking about this shit when you was riding with Tommy. Instead of you getting mad at me, you should get mad at CJ Rainey. You should be getting mad at Cliff for showing them picture, embarrass your ass online when you, that nigga, you the one put your picture out there with no fucking teeth on. Don't blame me, blame Cliff. Everybody saw that video when Cliff went ahead and took your picture and put it all over the internet and everybody was laughing at it. And you over here want to stand shoulder to shoulder with Tommy, and Tommy over here talking about black women, her hair weave, and here's you with no goddamn fronts, no goddamn grill in your goddamn mouth. Nobody, I am not talking about you because you are not that important. You want to be important. But guess what, son? you'll never would be important in the grand scheme of things. Because anybody can sit there and listen to you talk and say, who is this crazy idiot? Anybody can sit there and listen to what you got to say, and you can't comprehend what somebody's telling you. Now, I already said at the 20 minute to 23 minute. So you gonna blame me what V-Dub said. No, go to V-Dub. Go to V-Dub with your whole ass. But I'll tell you what, you're not gonna tag team on V-Dub though. Because I'm telling you what you're trying to do, nigga. You think because you think I betrayed your ass. What's going on, V-Dub? What's going on, V-Dub? You saw what that white boy did? Big J, why did V-Dub name drop? Why did V-Dub name drop? I don't know. I don't know why V-Dub name drop. Maybe because he's a grown ass man and he feel like doing it. But however, how about you be a grown man, white boy, and talk to V-Dub your damn self? And shut the fuck up. Yeah, exactly. I don't fear these YouTube streets. JD Miles, he need to shut the fuck up. Nobody talking to him. Nobody. Hey, now V-Dub, did I mention JD Miles? Because I really was talking about Obsidian. Because I was talking about what happened on his channel. On key between me and damn, I forgot the brother's name. Pookie. Tagging Pookie. Right, V-Dub. I ain't mentioning that nigga's name. I ain't mentioning that whole ass nigga's name at all. Everybody know I would talk about Obsidian because I mentioned Obsidian. And the thing is, I mentioned a suit. JD Miles don't wear no fucking suit, as far as I know. So how the fuck I'm gonna talk about his ass? With your no comprehending ass. Reading is fundamentally, you're not even actively. If somebody is describing a bear, right? I can talk about a bear without saying the word bear. I can say a woolly beast over 8 foot tall and has claws and stand on its hind legs. Now, some people will say, oh, you're talking about a bear. You nigga, you're not even a bear. You're a raccoon, nigga. Yeah, raccoons also stand on its hind legs. But I said 7 foot, 8 foot. You're not, when since a raccoon been 8 foot? When since a squirrel been 8 foot? You see, that's why, nigga, you need to go back to school, JD Miles. Because obviously, nigga, you dumb. You dumb as fuck. Nobody talking about your ass. Yet you want to draw attention. But here's today, I'm going to give you this free, unwanted, unneeded attention. Because we know you're scared to hit the fucking link. That's why when I put the link of this live stream in your comment section, you went ahead and deleted it. Because you don't want the white boy to step up in the ring. Your whole ass. Talking on that dumbass shit. And now, nigga, Senso, you've been tagging me ever since September. Ever since September, you've been tagging me. Like I'm supposed to talk to you. Nigga, I don't want you around me because most people don't want you around. Most of us on YouTube really don't want to talk to you at all. Anybody who's anti-manosphere and those who are in the manosphere really don't want to talk to you at all. Except for those niggas who you hang around with. Except for those racist white boys you hang around with. Like Hammerhand. Like Manga Man. Manga Man said all this whole ass shit. You and goddamn Pastor $40 and Red Pill Fred. And then, nigga, you said, we won against Big J. We won. Wait a minute, nigga. We won against Big J. That tells me, nigga, you a punk. You mean you need other people to fight your punk ass battles for you. We won against Big J. We won. In a beef? That's why, nigga, I don't take your ass seriously. But because you like to tag other niggas, and those other niggas making videos to me, now, nigga, I'm gonna dress your ass. Because you a hoe. You a bitch hoe ass nigga. You been a bitch made, hoe made, slut made, punk made bitch. You been a milk toast tender dick ass nigga. That's a problem with you red pill niggas. Y'all some milk toast ass niggas. A woman said no. You can't take no for a fucking answer. Nigga, you can't even take no for an answer. That's why, nigga, you got a problem. You need to be a man enough to understand that there in life there will be rejections. There will be rejections in life. But the problem is you do things the wrong way. You try to tag team with people, and then you don't have no personality of your own. JD Miles, you got no fucking personality. That's why people don't want to fuck with your ass. Because there's only one thing you talk about is women. And no, I know what you're gonna say. Well, Big J, you subbed to my channel. Really? I sub to your channel. No, before somebody said something stupid, before JD Miles or them dumb idiots said, "Oh, I subbed to his channel." Okay, we're gonna scroll down right here. Here's all the people who I sub up to. Allison Tillman, Ava the G, Myron Gaines, and yes, I'm gonna address Myron. Roland S. Martin, Shout Studios. Yeah, wait on that. Damn internet. Time World History Documentaries, Roger, 21 University, which is 21 Convention, 100 Proof, 2009 Mega Godzilla, Blue Dot in Texas, AJ, you see it right here. Hold on. The lady from Canada, Alan Worth, the Dose of Burt Buckley, Mr. Drift, the African Diaspora channel with that whole ass nigga named Filthy Vibe Show, the African Science Academy. Shout out to Kevin Smith. After Hours with Anton Daniels, the Asian Adult, this person right here, Alexia Belton, nice lady by the way. Ali Parker, this fake ass woman right here, and he needs to be addressed. All Facts, Auditory, Alternative History Hub, AM1, Amber, AMC Theaters, American Heroes Channel, Amy, the Space Girl, and I love her channel. She talk about outer space, the history of NASA, the history. Your whole ass. AC, ACL 1961, Andy, Angelica, the lovely Angelica, and Answers in Progress, a nice Hispanic woman from Canada. Auntie, shout to Auntie. Anthony, 121. I'm something. Antiquity Car. This is a MGTOW channel. This right here is a MGTOW channel. See, I support channels like this. I don't support Antonia Cover, APTV, 13 Keys. They're ashamed to be black. Ashamed to be black too. Yeah, hold on. We gonna scroll a little bit down. See, we ain't seen out the late great Alvin Curry. Oh, why is Big J mentioning me about Alvin? Nobody mentioned you about Alvin Curry. With your no hearing ass. This punk ass Azrael the One over there on Tommy's Nuts. AB with his whole ass. Babs, shout out to Babs. Big Sky, Baller X2, Bama Blood, Barbarossa. See? Hold on. I'm sub to who? Oh, Barbarossa. Barbarossa makes more sense than you, JD Miles. Let's go down. See, yo, nigga, I'm teaching now. I'm gonna teach your ass. I'm teach you. Oh, Barbarossa rants. Second Barbarossa channel. I got this racist white boy named Baron. Baron makes more sense to you, and he's red pill too. Baron's a racist Australian. Now let's scroll down. You see all these bees? Now that we're in the seas. We up in the seas now. We in the seas. We up in the seas. Now that we in the G's. The F, the G's. Do you see JD Miles up in here? Huh? Oh, now here we are at the J's. We're at the J's now. We see JJ McDonald, nice Canadian channel. James Gordon. Who the fuck is James Gordon? J3 Entertainment. Oh, here's a MGTOW person, JD Black. I'm still the JD Black. And JD Black made more sense than you, JD Miles, and them losers on your punk ass, and them losers keep tagging me from your punk ass channel. But where is you at? Hold on. JD Black, JDB Media, Janelle, Jenna Marbles. I miss Jenna Marbles. Jennifer Jackson, Jenny McDermott, Jenny Kiss, Jerry Lou. Jerry Lou is Asian manager. He makes more sense than the black manager, the white manager combined. Jerry Lou again. Jessica Ritchie, Jessica Vanessa, Jay Hits. Yeah, this guy is Asian. More sense. Paul. You don't go to his channel and hear him talking about Shane Blame and Explain, SBE, Asian women ain't shit. You don't hear him make videos like that. And see, he be on CNN talking to, he made that CNN special talking about the manosphere. Ho ass nigga. Julia Winters, a porn star. Yes. So I'm actually thirsty. Sometimes, yeah, and Julia be having sex with these women on her channel. You have to go on her OnlyFans. Anyway, we got this dude. We got John Campia. If I want my movie news, I'm sub to John Campia. So, nigga. Like, see, hold on. We ain't done. We're going to do the J's. AK Irony. Shout to AK Irony. The Triologic. Judgy bitch. If you want to talk about the manosphere, you want to talk about the manosphere, this woman led the manosphere. The gynocracy. Everybody know who Judgy bitch is. Everybody know who she is. If you don't know shit about the manosphere, she helped lead y'all online. Y'all didn't know that, huh? But anyway, that's all of the J's. Where is you at, JD? No, nowhere. Because you know why? Because nobody ain't thinking about your ass. Now shut up and sit down, bitch. And don't send nobody to face me. Don't send nobody except for your damn self. Don't send nobody to fight your punk ass battles. You do the shit by your damn self. Be a man for once. You got the gall to call me a punk. I bet you won't call me a punk in my face, though. I tell you that much, Miles. Got the fucking nerve to talk, making shit up. Nobody ain't talking about you. Hoe ass nigga. Nobody said a word to you. Oh, V-Dub didn't say a fucking word. Am I responsible what V-Dub said? V-Dub the grown man. Why won't you talk to V-Dub? White boy? Mastermind, why don't you talk to V-Dub? And JD Miles, why won't you talk to V-Dub? No, you scared. And I'm gonna say right now, I ain't sending V-Dub to do shit. But you nigga, you sent that other nigga after me. Like a bitch. You tagging him. That's why nigga you put MGTOW on titles on your videos just to alert other people to harass you. That's why YouTube needs to stop this harassment shit. Because that's what the fuck you do, JD Miles. You use that MGTOW word as a way to get other people to harass people you don't like. Everybody see that shit. That's why, nigga, I think that's why you went to jail. Hoe ass nigga. You don't got no fucking boundaries. Now shut the fuck up and mind your business. Nobody talking. I'm not talking about you. Because you're not worthy to be talked about. You're not the leader. I'm going to say it again, JD Miles. You're not the leader. You're just somebody's ass kisser. You like to kiss ass. And you've been kissing ass far too long, and you're 40-something years old. And then you want other people to call you uncle and shit. Some people don't even know who you are. Everybody's like, who is he? Who is he? Everybody asks me, who is this dude? You should be more worried about that because nobody remembers you. Nobody wants to fuck with you. You're just a fucking ass rejection from Subtle Nation. You are a reject. You're Tommy's reject. You're Obsidian's reject. You're O'Shea's reject. You're Sandman's reject. You're Angry MGTOW's reject. You're Anger Man's reject. You're Red to Bad Guys reject, and you're Rilo's reject. And what man is going to call another man at 3 o'clock in the morning? The man sleep. The man probably with a woman. But then again, it's Rilo. She might be one of, Ringo TV Raw's hoes. Who knows? She probably might be drugged or drunk. I don't see no woman trying to get with Rilo. But yeah, Rilo even rejected you. Now shut the fuck up and mind your and white boy, mind your goddamn biscuit. This had nothing to do with you. Y'all over here hanging around with Manga Man. Manga Man picked up a paintball gun and shooting at black kids and niggas like you JD Miles, and Red Pill Fred and Pastor $40 then call that white boy ass out. Y'all sit on your hands because y'all told folks on black women. While Manga Man went on the balcony on his goddamn shit and shooting at black kids, black trick-or-treaters. But it doesn't matter as long as he's talking about women. That's all that matters to y'all. Manga Man, Hammerhand can talk all that racist shit towards goddamn Hammerhand. Hammerhand can talk all that racist shit towards Dominant Shark. Call him that Negro over there. You niggas, Red Pill Fred, didn't say a fucking word. Y'all said, oh yeah, we gonna slow clap on the green on the fairway. Has niggas. That's why people don't want to fuck with your ass. Because you so focused about women. You try to shame, blame, and explain on a bitch. You need some self-improvement. And then you get mad at these dating coaches. I'd rather listen to a dating coach than listen to you MGTOW niggas. I'd rather listen, and even though I can't stand some of these dating coaches, at least there is, see, hold on. Let's put this up. Shame, blame, and explain. Nobody's making no video saying CBCE. Nobody making no video saying CBCE. You sound like a sissy saying that shit. CBCE. You sound like nigga, you got a lip wrist. CBCE. And nobody repeating. You trying to create a catchphrase that nobody ain't trying to hear. You trying to create a catchphrase, nigga, that nobody ain't trying to hear that shit. Sound like nigga, man, you came from a halfway house. Every time, that mean like your voice, nigga, is fucking ass disturbing. Nobody wants to hear a nigga who sound like that came out of a fucking jailhouse. You always mad at women. That's a problem with y'all. You always think women is y'all's problem. I'm doing charity work. Then how come you ain't listen down on your charity work? You ain't saying nothing about no charity work. if you were so good about this, you doing shit out there in the community time, how come you didn't mention your charity work? Huh? No, you're mad, nigga, because you got bustless nights. You had bustless nights, nigga. That's the problem with you MGTOW niggas. A lot of you MGTOW niggas, you not going your own way. Most of you niggas, I said most of y'all are sit your own way. You're not going your own way. You're sit your own way. You're a bunch of incels acting like trying to call yourself MGTOW. That's why, nigga, you scared to hit you're a bitch. You're a bitch and you hide under other niggas to help your black ass out. Oh, yes, nigga. Let me tell you something right now. There's 41 minutes into this, and in this roast, I'm doing more than what you ever have done. You don't even deserve me mentioning your name, JD Miles. You don't even deserve it. Because you're nobody in the grand scheme of things. Nobody ever heard of you. Except for some niggas who know you back. All time people know of you is when you trying to suck on Tommy Sotomayor's dick. From 10, 11 years ago. Everybody's tired of the shame, blame, and explain. That's all you niggas do. SBE. Shame, blame, and fucking explain. Now I'm done talking about this loser and talking about, oh, Big J's a loser. Well, tell that in 2026 about losing, motherfucker. Let's talk about that in 2026 about who's losing. But I tell you what, you lost. You lost your connection with other men like Tommy. You lost your other connection with fucking ass Obsidian. You lost your fucking connection with goddamn Angry Man. You lost your goddamn connection with goddamn Angry MGTOW. You lost your fucking connection with goddamn Turflinger Monkey. You lost your connection with Red the Bad Guy. You lost your connection with goddamn Rallo. You lost your connection with O'Shea. That's what you lost. All the niggas kick your ass to the fucking curb. Don't you ever try to bring other people to fight your goddamn battles. For once. You never a fucking man. You just an ugly black nigga who got a gripe against women because you niggas, because women don't find you as attractive. These women don't find you as attractive. That's why you're mad. Why you mad at women? Because women don't find you as attractive. Guess what? Join the fucking club. But understand, you don't got no class. You don't got no goddamn talent, bitch. You got no class, no talent, no charisma, no intelligence. And we already know, nigga, you're not that damn smart. Right. Nagone. You've been in the manosphere a long time. Any connection to Barbarossa? I bet you, Nagone. I bet you Barbarossa know who you are. I bet you Barbarossa know who Big J Triple X is. Sparky Fister knows who Big J is. Sparky Fister, everybody, if you go back to YouTube long time ago, people know who Sparky is. But who is JD Mouse? Nobody, baby. Who is the nigga is this? Nobody. Now you better be glad in this 45 minutes I'm giving you all the attention you don't deserve. Yeah. Everybody long time ago know who you are and know who I am. Because guess what? We was on Blog Talk Radio. I used to have a Blog Talk Radio show. Alan Curry knows who Big J. Well, if he was still here, Alan Curry knows. See, there's a video of me and Alan Curry talking. Get tired of these manosphere losers trying to talk. You know nothing and you're talking. Big J, he went in front of his camera. No, it's in front of my laptop, jackass. I ain't went to my camera, nigga. I went to my laptop. Went to my computer, nigga, not camera. Talking about V-Dub. V-Dub said, well, what did V-Dub name drop? Well, why don't you talk to V-Dub? You're attacking me because V-Dub said something? That tells me, nigga, you are bitches. You trying to create a war. No, nigga, all what you do, JD Miles, you're a cowardly ass bitch. Because, nigga, all you do is have dogpile sessions and try to do all this dogpiling and try to dogpile one person because, nigga, you can't top the people you got a problem with. You can't top the people who you got an issue with. That's why you said we won against Big J. We won against Big J. Wait a minute, hold on. We won? Who is this we? You and two other niggas that don't even have 500 subs? People who surround yourself with two white racist motherfuckers? See, I'm giving you all this time that all the attention that you don't. Let me say it again for you, nigga, because I'm not stuttering. You don't deserve. I'm getting all this attention that you don't deserve. And I better not hear a fucking thing come out your mouth or any other nigga's mouth. You're not even important in the grand scheme of things. You're just an irritant. Talking about Big J got a problem with the manosphere and he's no. How about though? Instead of you talking to me, you talk to the Southern Law Poverty Center then. Is that you talk to me? Talk to the McCain Institute. That's where I get my information from. I just don't talk out of my ass. Like many of you niggas do online. Y'all just repeat something what some other YouTubers say. I go, if I want to talk about something, best believe I researched it or I have looked it up. And when I say looked it up, I mean not looked up online, I looked up in a book. I look things up that's on black and white, on a book, on a spreadsheet. That's how I look shit up. Anyway, anybody else want to talk? Because I'm done talking about this jackass idiot. I'm done talking to the jackass idiot. Everybody say, well, Big J, you a bitch because when I came to your channel and I hit the link, you didn't let me up. Yeah, nigga, because I know who sent you. I'm talking to JD Mouse friend. JD Mouse tagged you. You came over here trying to chin check me on JD Mouse behalf. No, JD Mouse need to do shit by his damn self. He need to grow him some nuts and do shit his damn self. That's why I didn't let your ass up. He need to be a man to do shit by his own damn self. And stop being a bitch. Gonna call me a punk. No, nigga, you a punk made bitch, homemade, slut made ass nigga. Trying to shame, blame, and explain. Telling other men you got a meat stick. What grown man gonna tell another grown man I got me a meat stick? What's going on, Nagone? Drop this. I'm sorry. I have to go off on that loser ass nigga though. Go ahead. What's going on? You're gone. You're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm off mute now. Yeah. I just saw you, kind of getting into the whole MGTOW thing. And I don't know this brother who you're really talking about, and I'm not, really looking to get into that. But I'm just saying, as far as MGTOW now, you got to understand why, brothers, you can't really be around that too much because, much of it was hijacked by the right wing. When I say the right wing, the right kind of right wing racists. They infiltrated Hammerhand and all them guys. They're all part of that. Anti-blackness runs very hard through that, and a lot of guys came in there because they were mad because a lot of brothers were banging white women. So a lot of them had issues with black men. Because of the a lot of white women getting involved with black women and so forth. That really turned them on. They really want to have their own separate spaces. But that whole MGTOW thing really is more of a kind of a white kind of right wing, the alt right kind of been running with that, and that's where you are with that, man. That is where you are with that, and you were right when you were talking about how guys like myself were involved. I've been involved in looking at this whole manosphere thing about the last 13 years or so. So, I've seen this from way back from 2007, 2008, going all the way up to now. So I saw this actually a little bit earlier, 2006, really. So that's where I really started to see a lot of this stuff, and it altered tremendously. Guys like Barbarossa and them stepped out of it because of the fact that the alt-right, right wing, the racist crowd really kind of stepped into this, and that's what's taking that over. So you even hear what's this guy, Sandman? You'll hear him up there in Canada talking right wing stuff, and all this, and it's just like it's ridiculous. So yeah,
right.
You see these guys really hung up very heavily in MGTOW right now. They're pretty effed up because the big move was to kind of move down, was to evolve, to really get into self-improvement, really more development, and really, help to develop people more. And this is certainly with MGTOW that has not happened.
Because it was like because I witnessed the change, right? It was just like 2015, 2014, 15. And this is when Donald Trump was emerging as a candidate in 2015, right? So, and I noticed, you got people like Rich or Spencer and what?
Yeah.
Novak, that white boy, that white racist dude named Novak, and them. They're making videos about. Well, we're MGTOW because white women don't appreciate white men, and they go after black men. And then I'm looking at all these niggas over here talking about, oh yeah, man, black women ain't shit, and they're talking about them. They're talking about y'all. They're talking about us, and you still trying to,
No, it's crazy that people are really trying to link up. When I saw this dude Hammerhand, I listened to him for a little bit. And I really, then I said, let me hear what this guy is saying. And then when I really started to listen to their message and what these guys are really talking about, it's against you. It's truly against you. And it's not only against you women, it's against you. So, I'm not, I am not, or I don't think any thinking black man is not going to get involved with these crazy ass gray boys that are not feeling you this way. So you don't really have a spot with them. They'll try to act like that, but you don't have a spot with them because they really don't want you around. They want you separated, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's really about them. It's not about you. So and it's not about your development. It's about their development, and it's about keeping you out and them really being really more in white spaces. That's what this thing is truly all about. That's why it segues in well with kind of what's going on politically on the scene today. So it's been evolving that way, and that's where it is. So any real black man who's linking up with these guys um, are definitely moving with the wrong message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, y'all don't see the slight racism that
It's not slight.
these men are. Well,
It,
well,
it's
well.
it's not even slight.
It's
It's
over.
not slight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And some of them just tell you straight out, we blaming black men. We blame white women to getting with black men and Hispanic men. And I'm like, but you Negroes sitting right around Hammerhand as he's saying this, and y'all ain't picking that up what he's saying. Y'all really ain't picking up what he's
No,
saying because he's
no,
you know
nobody's taking him to task because
right.
it's the quality of people he has around him. So these bootlicks and these Negroes will sit there just to want to be friendly and down with this guy and accept that, which is insane, but that's what you have. And then when you look at some of this political spectrum, you have these guys still sitting around, these tremendous racists talking all kind of crazy, trying to eliminate a lot of other things, that black people are involved with, and they accept that as well. So it's
Kind of like your boy Obsidian. Uh-oh.
like I said, I haven't really really sat down and hooked up with Obsidian since 2018 at the end. So it's been years from that situation, because quite frankly, the move was, all right, we've kind of seen how a lot of these women, sisters, and so forth, a lot of these skewed ones are really out here kind of showing you what's really going on, and how they're really out here full of a lot of crap. Brothers, get your act together. Let's self-develop and kind of move from that perspective. And a lot of brothers did not want to move towards self. A lot of these guys, not brothers, but a lot of these brothers in that space did not want to move towards self-development. They did not want to move to develop themselves. They wanted to shame, blame, and explain on those people and not better themselves. And that's where this whole thing really fell apart in my view. I watched it very closely. I saw its evolution to its de-evolution, and really the productivity self-development piece was the most important aspect for black men, and many of these guys rejected that. So that was telling, and we're on that path this very day. Go ahead.
Yeah, because like MOT was here earlier,
Okay.
and we was talking about it. We were talking about he was on my last live stream earlier. This morning, and
Okay.
we kind of brought this up about the whole productivity and how people are rejecting productivity, and all they want to do is let's bash on Keisha. Because I was talking about BJ's video. BJ's tagged me in a video about this woman, this statue of a woman, right? And I was kind of complex about. I was trying to complex. What's the fuss about? And BJ went to this whole diatribe about this statue being oppressive against black men, and he tried to sexualize the statue, and I'm just like, why are you tagging me in this shit?
No, man.
Why are you tagging me? Yeah, go ahead.
No. BJ's full of shit. He's crazy. I'm looking at this guy like he's fucking out of his mind. But you have a lot of these guys who are just operating like that now, just to kind of grab an algorithm and kind of stay out there and push us. at 65 plus or whatever, talking this craziness is insane. You should be out here really talking about how men should be developing themselves and moving forward. This black woman statue is not going against black men per se, if anything. In fact, I've talked to some black women who actually feel that that this is not indicative of people of some of the black women that that people should be looking up to. A lot of people, of course, want to say Michelle Obama. Okay, you want to put that up there, but but Frances Cress Welsing and a lot of other sisters who are out here who really kind of push the envelope towards really kind of black development and in the larger piece. That statue didn't really represent. That doesn't really represent. It doesn't really represent. So many black women who are educated, doing well, and so on and so forth. You look at this, looked at that statue rather suspiciously. I'll just put it like that. Kind of like it as an attack on us, on the whole, in a lot of ways. Some women have come away with that view. Others, so it's certainly controversial. With the braids and the kind of the which braids are cool, but kind of the sassy attitude and so forth kind of looks. Some folks were not really embracing that. So it's really there to hurt black men and so forth. You have these guys who want to sit here and blame all of that on sisters, but these people are non-productive. It's non-productive people talking this. People who haven't had great outcomes, and like how many how many they just haven't. Their outcomes are no good. So to a large extent, you're looking at non-productive people sitting here complaining. I was listening to a live stream a while back on this one brother's channel. I'm not going to mention who was, and he had a bunch of people on his panel talking about sisters getting educations. And they got an education. They got an education in this. They got an education in basket weaving. They got this education. Oh, they're trying to flex your education on you. Like, man, you don't need no. So basically, they were talking all kind of craziness, talking against education. So I'm sitting there saying, the black community is aspirational. Brothers tend to be very aspirational. Why would you hold a panel of people here speaking against education, speaking against it? It's almost like playing into the ignorance and the craziness that these white that these white folks are trying to push the board of education, really trying to hurt you educationally, and they kind of shut you down. And these guys are kind of playing into that ignorance. Why? And of course, most of these guys were not educated themselves, but but they're sitting there, driving around complaining. Some guy driving around his car also complaining about this. Complaining about these systems. And these are not very productive people. So you really have, like my old man used to say, you always have to consider the source, man. Just consider the source, consider where the stuff is coming from. And you have a lot of these people here who are just who are really not about pushing things forward. They like the stagnation. They want to keep things stagnant, dysfunctional, and so somehow they can have a voice with a lot of very lost, kind of busted up guys running around who have a place to kind of all sit around. And then when you really start to push the development piece, the self-improvement piece, that's something that a lot of these guys want to reject. Who are in that space, and it's not a productive space. It's not a productive space, and you have to look at what that's all about. What that's all about. That's the reality. That is the reality. It's I just keep it there. MGTOW and all this stuff right now. MGTOW was a phase that people were looking to go through, but as you went through that, you were supposed to really move more towards developing yourself. Really about development. Really about developing yourself.
Right. See, MGTOW was supposed to be. Many people use MGTOW as a way to branch off to get to the next level, like self improvement and trying to accept that it's more of like you need to focus on yourself. That's what MGTOW was supposed to be. You're supposed to focus on yourself and focus on Not sit there and rant about women all day. Not to the
Well,
facts over feelings, and and you know, and you know,
the,
and
the
all
the
that
the whole
crap.
the whole thing with women, if you were gonna, you were looking at a lot of these women are full of crap. A lot of these women are on some total bullshit. And if you're a productive dude, you're not going to be around any bullshit. You're not going to be accepting a lot of bullshit from a lot of bullshit women. So
Right.
you don't even waste your time with them. After a period, you learn how to recognize them. You don't even waste your time with them after a period. Of course, they all talk about the whole red pill rage and all that kind of stuff that you go through, and that's a temporary period. But once you've gotten your head about you and you've gotten focused, you get focused and you look to improve. That's why people were always talking about, getting your finances together. Back in the day, I was like, get your mind right, get your body right,
Your
get your
body
money right.
right.
Yeah. You, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that because like you always said that on a Sidian's when he was on blog talk.
yeah,
You always
yeah.
was calling up there and co-host for him. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And well, I was on Blog Talk before, and then we got on, of course, then we got on, the whole YouTube thing and all of that. So we had some fun with that. We had some fun with that. But the name of the message was to these young brothers, especially, look, man, get your act together. You're gonna go through some difficult times, especially if you're gonna be dealing with some of these jacked up women. You're gonna have to regroup, really focus, get your game together, and and start to move forward. Don't sit here and let them drag you down, or be the cause of all the problems that you have, because you in any situation you're in, you can get out of it. You can always improve. You can always improve yourself, and of course that's going to take some work. It takes some degree of work to do that, but hey, that is what it is. And a lot of cats have, I see somebody talking about, um what are we talking about, uh
With
the brothers who
with
travel, or passport bros and stuff like that,
yeah, the passport bros. Yeah.
of which is cool. I've gone to other countries, speak different languages and these kind of things. There are a lot of things that you can learn. So there's some value in that as well. But you're constantly looking to develop and evolve. I don't care at what age you are. There's not one age that you can't develop at. You can develop at any age. The only time you don't develop is when you're in the ground. So at
Hmm.
the end of the day, you can consistently develop. You don't have and you set your standards high. You don't have to deal with bullshit dudes, bullshit women, nothing. Your game is about consistently self improving and being around people who are about that as well. And we are we're looking at something quite a bit different here with these guys. These people here are very much dedicated to, I would say, stagnation, de-evolution, idiocy, stupidity, um, lack of learning, counting on
Hmm.
the wrong types of people to listen to to get their information, and uh, people not really pushing the envelope to really better themselves. And you have a lot of hurt, jacked up people who have congealed in these spaces, listening to the the wrong folks, man. Listen, it's the wrong people. This thing has not gone in the right direction. Listening to the wrong stuff, and you can always learn, and for guys like myself who are near retirement and everything else like that, it's a whole,
Hmm.
the game is different. But guys of my age group, we should be talking with younger folks to really help to put them on a track to develop well, not sit here and get even angrier, get further upset, and leave them no real alternatives, and complaining about women and not getting your educations and stuff like that. And training and doing things that are going to certainly benefit you far better. And a
Right.
lot of young brothers who are doing that, they're not caught up listening to a lot of this craziness. They're just not. They're just not.
It's kind of like if you read the Bible and talk about idle minds idle minds or idle hands, depending on which version of the Bible you're reading. It says the idle hands, idle minds is a devil's workshop. So if your mind is on some bullshit, you gonna stay stagnated. You still gonna be SBE. You gonna shame, blame, explain. You're not.
And
You spreading misery around.
and you're going to stay in a perpetual state of what they call that red pill rage, where you're staying angry and you're not productive. And then you see guys like this dude, Frank James or whatever, running up into New York and getting on the subway and shooting up people and all kind of idiocy. So
Mm-hmm.
so you start dealing with that kind of thing, and this is not what was all about. This was about, you learn, you recognize, you start to improve, and then you you make your life better. You begin to improve your life as opposed to um, keeping it a lot worse, and that's or degrading and going down, and just getting angrier and more miserable and less productive. That's not what this thing is about. And men who are on top of their game do not do that. Men consistently look to
It's
improve and acquire more things and so forth.
it's a mental illness to
Yeah.
red pill rage at a certain age. Now, I'm gonna talk about myself, right? I used to be mad when I was 28, 29 years old. I used to be angry, because then I realized who was the problem. When I became 30, 31 years old, I realized who was the problem. The problem isn't the women. The problem was me and my choices of women, or
Yeah.
who was I was chasing, because I was
Yeah.
I was chasing after a certain type, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and and some men. I'm gonna talk shit about myself. I'm gonna roast my own self right now. My dumbass was trying to get to this particular type of woman just to impress somebody else. Well, maybe if I bring home a girl who's such and such and such and such, or if I bring home a girl that's this of a certain archetype. No, that's not how you're supposed to bring home somebody who's compatible with you and what program you are running on. But I was after this that was when I was 28 years old, 28, 29. I was after this Hispanic girl, and you know, I like what she looked like. I liked what she was a part of. I liked that she was part of this community type thing. So I was into her, right? I was so damn dumb that she was so fucking shallow. She very shallow. She only worried about the bag, and I realized that. And then me being angry about it, I thought most women in my area was the same way. And I was like, well, I said, fuck all of y'all at this point. Now,
Well,
mind you, I was 27, 28 years old at the time.
yeah, but the key thing you're saying is you learn certain things and you start to grow, and
Right.
and 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 and, and that's the name of the game, really. That's really the name of the game, is you learn and you grow, and you're learning all the time. I mean, I remember when I first started getting really back into physical fitness, just after the whole marriage thing went wrong, and I was out of shape, and things were not really moving well for me, and I was, kind of, moving in my late 40s, going into my 50s. Um, you know, it took a certain attitude, and things really started to turn around and improve during that time, where a lot of guys, I
Hmm.
think, ultimately get destroyed and don't and have a hard time really recovering. You can make these recoveries. I mean, I can sit here and say, I was making my, the most money right after all that started to really happen. Well, I was doing pretty well before that, but still, I was, doing very well after I really started to recover from things. And I remember started seeing even my whole workout game. I mean, at the age of 55, I had a 500-pound bench press. You know, 55,
Hmm.
benching 500 pounds on the bench in my mid 50s. and I was a 50-year-old Chad running around, so it was like, what? So
I
I was starting to blow my own mind. And that's kind of, getting on your game and really kind of really pushing forward. And here you are, even in your older years, stepping into new things and expanding. Because a man's uh, um, reign is a little longer. Women, they, by the time they're in their 30s, they considered older. Men, you're looked at, still as very viable as you even get older. So you have to understand what that power is all about, and it's a power. It damn sure is. Um, but you have to utilize that properly, and you got to learn how that works. And but it takes work, and you can't be laying on your ass and crying and complaining because it's you can't be crying and complaining because it's going to take work for you to do that. To beat a joint, it's hard. You got to put effort in, but really moving towards self development is really what this thing is all about, and you're constantly doing that for your whole life, and and that's something that from the MGTOW piece, it was supposed to you're going your own way now. So since you're going your own way, you're not counting on anything else. You building, you're developing your own pathway. And in order to move properly, you have to develop. You have to consistently develop, and that's something that I think has really, really been lost here. It's really been lost, and it's not so much age dependent. It really is more mindset dependent because you can do this at any time in your life. So that has to be understood, and that's something
Right.
that I think, and I think that's something that certainly has been missed here. The wrong people have really gotten out here and started to really get their voices out here, and people have been misdirected in some very significant ways, and that's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. So
Yeah,
so so
I think
so
I think at a certain age, right? At a certain age, you got no business red pill raging. I think I think it's sad seeing a man over the age of 35. Now, I said though you should stop red pill raging at age 30. But if you over here red pill raging at age 35 on up, there's something fundamentally wrong. I think though you need to see a psychologist, you need to see a pastor, you need to see something because
yes,
all this,
yeah.
it is I'm seeing. I mean, I'm listening to B Jess. B Jess made a video to me about that statue, right? And I'm like, well, B Jess, why you red pill raging? You 70. You 70 years old. Why you red? He got grandkids. The
Yeah,
man got
like
grandkids. Why you still on this? Oh, the black bitch ain't shit. What?
because they want to sit back and complain about what they haven't had or what's not working well for them, and still want to blame it on some female. I had a difficult time with my whole ex-wife situation. A hell of a time, but once got past that, started to develop my own game the right way. What did I find after a while? Next thing you know, you see that old ex-wife and some of these other exes trying to find their way to try to get back to you after a little while. Honey, we had our time. I'm done. Let's move on. Let's move on. I don't hold any grudges. I'm not sitting back here all angry and upset or whatever. We've gotten past that, and this is the next phase. And I have to say,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. A
so
woman.
I'm not
Last
here
year.
blaming all that on them. Yeah.
Right. Like last year, right? A woman broke my heart last year. Do you see me dragging her? I'm not dragging her.
Nah, man. I mean,
What's the point? What's the point dragging her for?
Because you find when you hold all that, you hold this hatred or you hold whatever. That's real negative, man. That brings you down. You got
Hmm.
to get rid of that. And then you have to, get into other things that are going to uplift you spiritually, physically, and everything else. And then you'll find things move a lot better. Like I said, when I was married through those years, um, I had, I wasn't at my strongest. Once I was divorced and started moving on and doing the things that I needed to do, moving into my late 40s, 50s, those are my. I was at. I started to hit my strongest at those ages. At those ages, and there's some secrets that are built into you that you don't know. As you get older, you get stronger. Not only mentally in a lot of ways, but physically too, which I found was unbelievable. That is, your muscles get you or have older muscle, it becomes denser, it gets denser quicker. So you develop that old man strength and so forth. You get a lot physically stronger. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You don't see that until you've hit that point, until you've gone through, until you dealt with that. So that's a whole nother angle that's in there. That that you don't see. So you're constantly developing, and I think that's the real key. And a lot of those messages have been missed with a lot of this, and the whole, because keeping the gender war around and keeping all that going, there's a certain economic component to it, and a lot of people like to get played into that algorithm, all that plays into that. So so
Yeah, but
so
but
so there's a whole other component to keeping that alive, to keeping that going. But real
right, because
people who really see how this thing really works have kind of moved away from that, and are on some different paths as of right now. Go
right,
ahead.
because I view, see, and I've been noticing things, right? So I view the gender war as a way to create to cementing, well, I see it as a pipeline, the fascism, the whole political arguments that's being made. And I've been noticing ever since 2015.
Hmm.
The people who's part of the gender war, I always know, okay, let's use the girl who swirls, right? Or those that
Who, who
the
who's
you
that?
know you
Carrison?
yeah, Kristen Karazan, right?
I haven't. It's funny because I haven't listened to these people
In
in
years.
years,
Yeah.
years. You you you,
Yeah,
you
but
know
right.
years. Go ahead.
So the thing is, though, she just come to mind because I saw her on Fox Soul, and I saw
Hmm.
Anger Man on Fox Soul. And I want you to, it says Fox Soul. I don't know why people don't grasp what's going on. They want these two people to fight. So Fox, which is a right wing corporation, can make money off of black dysfunction. And people don't sit there and grasp, and that's the whole point. And people are so dumb they can't see that part. And the
Yeah.
gender war is nothing more than a as a gateway to fashion, because you go to any divester channel or BWE channel or any of these the black women who got a problem with black men, they tend to be what? Oh, we voting for X, Y, and Z conservative. You go to the manager side, the SYSBM guys, they always consider themselves conservative. And it's always it is and I notice it, and I'm sitting there shaking my head like, do anybody connecting the dots what's going on? Because I
And they're
see it.
support, and they're supposed to be on different sides, but they support the same people. Makes some
Right.
sense out
Because
of it.
because
Makes some sense
because
out of it.
Karazhan went up. Okay, everybody know Kristen Karazhan is in Washington. No, what state she in? California, right? When she was married to that white man, she was in California. Then I saw her in Texas with Ted Cruz. But wait a minute, she over there trying to get a bill passed to protect black women with Ted Cruz. But why aren't you talking to Barbara Boxer and Diane Feinstein in California? Why you had to travel all the way to Texas to talk to Ted Cruz?
Yeah.
And nobody ain't connecting the dots.
Yeah.
These
Well.
divestors and these manager nut jobs, They always on the right wing, and they supposed to hate each other. They're supposed to
Yeah.
sit there and say, black women ain't shit, black men ain't shit. I'm gonna get me a white man. I'm gonna get me a Becky, and I'm sitting there
Well,
like, y'all ain't. I'm listening to all
well,
of this, and I'm just saying
well,
like, wow.
they all suffer from the same problem. They all suffer from the same issue. They all suffer from the
Self
same
hatred,
problem. You there?
self, yeah, it's self hatred at this point.
They all they all suffer from the same problem. That's why they all end up over there. And that's what I'm saying. You can't be around them. After a period of time, it gets to a point where you just really can't be around them. Would I have my grandson listening to these people and talking? No.
Hell no.
Would I have any young male that I would be helping to mentor listening to these people? Hell no. And divestors and all them, let them divest all they want. How's that working out for you? And a lot of these other brothers who are out here, want to go, say, hey, listen, I'm going celibate. I'm out. I don't want to deal with people for a while. Okay, I can understand folks wanting to get their want to kind of get their heads together, but after a period of time, biology and kind of how we are designed, you're going to want to be interested in a woman, but at some point in time, you're going to want to make sure you're going to deal with the right type of person. If your life is together, you're dealing with some good stuff, then you're going to deal with somebody who's going to be on your level. If you're not, how are you going to sit here and deal with the women that you really want to have or get involved with? And your shit's all effed up. It does not. It's not congruent with that. It just isn't. And a lot of people trying to push people here who have not developed themselves and they're all effed up to sit here and say this is the kind of woman you should have, and they're not even in a position to even get into a halfway decent relationship because they're not even properly, aligned well with themselves. So that's why your self-development piece is very important, and that is the most. And I see people all day long saying what these women are not, what these women are not, what these women are not. Your acts really together, you're going to see exactly the kind of person you're going to want to be with after a period of time. And the women who shouldn't be around you will cancel themselves. And
right.
that's how a lot of that works. So you don't want to waste a lot of time with that. You have a lot of women who come in, they'll try to say the right thing, get around you, and you just observe them for a while and talk to them. You see they're full of shit, and you just you kick them to the curb. They're trying to game you, and you'll know the ones who are serious, and the ones who are very serious and the ones who are good with you, their actions will prove exactly what they're all about. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, the best. I think the best way to figure women out is let her talk long enough. Because
you always
eventually, yeah, you always do that. See, but the problem is these guys on here, they're thinking, oh, she got a fat ass, she got some titties. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna look at her body and she better not say much and she better be dumb. Well, that doesn't work like that. And this whole idea about the education level. Well, since these nignogs over online talk about we don't care about what a woman's education is. Well, the smarter the woman, the smarter the offspring.
Yeah.
There have been studies saying the more educated or more intelligence, the intelligence level of a woman tells you the intelligence of what that child will be. Because why? The woman is what? The first teacher to that child. So if she's intelligent and highly intelligent, that is going to pass on to her offspring. So I don't know why these dumb idiots online tell me I don't care about her intelligence. That's why May I look at intelligent women. All right,
Yeah.
I've always been attracted to highly intelligent women.
Well, I see intelligence comes in many forms. There's a very, they can tell, because you can have women who are book smart and and not be intelligent in other areas. You can have women who are
Right.
you can have women who are very emotionally intelligent and are very caring, nurturing, and so forth, and may not have a huge level of formal education from the standpoint of master's degrees or whatever else, but yet they still are really good at somebody who can really help you. Help you if you're going to link up with them, be a good partner, advance your life together, and so on and so forth. There's that as well. So there are a lot of different forms of intelligence out here. I would say, or brilliance and genius and so forth. But certainly, you want someone who will who will be compatible with you, very compatible with you, and
Right.
that's all individual. But but how you are able to, I think, better meet that is certainly by knowing yourself, developing yourself well, and being productive, in many ways, and that's important. And what these guys are trying to sell you is you don't have to be productive. You can be as dumb, fucked up, as messed up as possible, but you should be demanding this, and you're owed this, and these people should be giving you this. The fuck out of here. That's not how that works, and it's never
Hmm.
worked that way. It's never worked that way. Um,
It's
so you know,
it's I don't know. I don't know. It's for me. I'm talking about when it comes to the women that I like. I there are multiple layers of intelligence, right? The emotional intelligence, the book smarts, the street smarts, all of that, right? But the problem is they want the dumb bimbo who don't know anything, and then they expect her to be raising your kids. Well, I don't want no dumb woman who don't know shit raising my kids, because I don't know what type of value said she gonna give these children, and
yeah.
they need so
Well, but the key thing is, the bottom line. It's really dependent upon you in so many ways. I look at the mistakes I had with respect to when I had first, gotten married, and all that was in there, and it was the decisions I made. I could sit back here and blame the ex-wife on all kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, who made the decision to truly move with this person? Why did I get involved? What was I doing? In that relationship, times that was problematic, and I looked at a lot of that. I looked at a lot of that and said, well, I'm going to make sure that next time around, if I get involved, I'm not going to make XYZ mistakes, but I'm also going to make sure I'm extremely on top of my game as well, and
hmm
and expect better as well.
right, right.
And that's a big part of that. And this whole MGTOW thing and this whole manosphere thing was really here to help you, to help you develop that, to help you to develop those senses. Especially, during my generation, you got married a little bit younger, and so at 22 years of age and so forth, I was walking down the aisle, which was which was just getting out of college. You met your wife in college, and you kind of went about making your marriage game from there. And you know, life is kind of complex, so you have to understand how that whole marriage thing really worked. And I just I was very young with that, so you learn, you evolve, you learn things, and that's all this has been about. And did I have a my red pill rage and all that? Yeah, I went through it. I went through it. I certainly did. But one thing I learned: once you raged and learned stuff, you got out of that, and then you move towards better development, and things got better. You know, things got better. When your pockets are full, and you pull yourself out of a real tough situation, you feel better about who you are. You feel better about what you're doing, and then you have a better understanding of kind of what's going on out here, and you're not going to go for certain things anymore. it,
Right.
it's about development. You have to develop. Um, it's all about development, and whatever mistakes I made, you learn from, you develop. That's what I think this whole thing was really supposed to be more so about, and I don't see that. I don't see that. I see a lot of ignorance, a lot of people still not studying, a lot of people still not reading, a lot of people still not really trying to develop their minds and so forth. I see a lot of that going on in this space, and it is disturbing with people who are supposed to be thought leaders who are not thought leaders at all. Are non-thinkers, and then your
Mm-hmm.
supposed thought leaders who are out here who are supposed to lead you to better thinking, are really not moving you in that direction. I'm talking about people who have higher levels of education and your PhDs and so forth, people who are very well educated. Where are you moving these people to? How are you really helping a lot of these guys who are really reaching out and really want someone to really help them in a lot of ways? It's to be mad and stay mad at this female all day long and stay in that perpetual state of anger and frustration, that is not helpful. You have to be able to offer some type of way of seeing things more clear, understanding themselves and actualizing themselves um, better, and coming out of this better, coming through this not on the other end as sausage, but coming out on the other side as a more developed, well, better rounded individual. And that's that's a big part of that. That's a very, very, very big part of this, and that's where I think a lot of this has fallen down. You know, with crazy folks being being out front saying any and everything, which is
Mm-hmm.
which I think is deleterious to a lot of us. And as far as black men are concerned, we are definitely in the crosshairs in so many ways. So it's very important
Mm-hmm.
that we
Mm-hmm.
that we that we understand how to really work with each other and develop better. And that's kind of what I thought this manosphere was all about. But some of the wrong uh, some of the wrong folks are out front, and and to sit down and say, am I at fault for that to a degree? Yes, I am. I have to, so,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you know, yeah. So some of the blame does have to be placed on us as well.
Yeah, yeah. The blame, yeah. I'm gonna tell on myself again. I'm telling myself again. My issue is I don't open up as much. I'm not trying to be vulnerable uh, to her because I'm still guarded. So that's part of the reason why I'm having uh women issues, or reason why I'm you know reason why I get in that, because I don't open up as much as I would like to, because I'm still in the position of being guarded, because I really and part of his trust issues as well. So yeah,
I
so
mean, there's a lot.
hmm
Being a man in this society and culture, it requires a lot. A lot of
hmm
and are things fair for us to a large extent? No. So you have to understand that, but that's why it's important that we do work on ourselves consistently, because there is a lot expected from you. Um,
hmm
it is what it is, and a lot of people want to have all of that, but yet not have the background or the skill sets or anything else like that to really command that, but yet they want this to be given. If you're out here broke and torn out frame and messed up, and you're expecting women to come to you on their knees, saying, hey, I'm gonna make you. It's that's just It's just not realistic. It's not realistic, and and a woman is not going to make you out here. You make yourself. So,
Right.
um, and those who you're friendly or working with as well, because your friends are part of your wealth as well. So that's why you want to be around good people who are going to help you kind of move forward, and you help them as well. So your friends are big with that. That's why it's key who you have around you. So it's pretty valuable lessons that you learn from young, but as we get older, you know you can get confused. So the name of the game is to consistently stay on a good productive track, and other people can help you do that, but other people can sway you from that as well. And being all caught up in bill raging and not developing and getting mad at it, these black women, they're getting the degrees and you don't need degrees, and what are they getting degrees in, and talking against education, talking against your own development. Madness, man. I'm seeing some of this stuff going on. It's craziness. So we have to consistently, brothers who are together here, consistently work on making ourselves better. Let's look at supporting each other and helping ourselves to consistently improve, because we are facing a very powerful, what I would consider bloodthirsty and dangerous enemy, who certainly wants to see you not succeed. And you have to be in preparation for that. And things are going to get tougher before they get better. I can tell you that right now.
Right, because
And
I don't know if you're familiar with Ty, right? He always talking about wait till he want to watch the wait for the movie to end, right? I think that we as black men, we got to get into the movie at this point, because I see a play being made and nobody else ain't trying to see it. Like they're using they're using our low self-esteem, our insecurities, and they play it against us, and they get wealthy off of us, and then they double back to say, "Oh, you're the one that's the problem. You're the one that needs to be eradicated." Case in point, right? You hear a lot of these guys who on this SBE shit, right? Now, first is black women, right? Now, after black women, they're done with black women. Now, though, they could move on to, the immigrants. It's the immigrants that's now the problem. Why you can't get ahead as a black man? Well, once they got you to be anti-immigrant and chase these brown skinned people out of here, while you over here waving pom poms while these brown skinned people from south of the border leaving, they're bringing white South Africans to replace these Hispanics.
I mean, it's. I mean, we look at some of the stuff. It's amazing, and then I'm sitting here saying, "This is what you people have supported. Look at the game that they're playing, and y'all sitting here now quiet, can't say anything about it. Damn near, um, um, you know, it's it's almost unreal, but this is kind of where we are, where we are with a lot of this as of right now, to show you just how there has been a there's I'll call it as we kind of devolved. So
Yeah, 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 because like the internet supposed to be all the information's in your tip of your hands. But the more we got, the more the tool with all the tips, all the information we have, we use it to push ignorance and bullshit. And now we got, a man could sit there and say, "Well, I write my name on the Bible, and my name is in gold in the Bible. Here's me, woo woo woo." Y'all here talking about, Shane Blame explaining these women to with the Bible when he's using the Bible against y'all, and
yeah.
he's using, yeah. So and he talking about, well, well, so and so, I'm talking about Kamala Harris. She disrespect black men. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, yeah, you might be right on this, but what about those shoes, the Donald Trump shoes?
I mean, people can talk about that, but you know, she was the only one who came up with a plan for black men. Anyway, like I said, you know, I
Right.
don't want to, get too much in there,
Yeah, yeah,
but but
but I'm just saying that yeah, he's dangling this in front of you, but yet he's dangling this shit with the right hand, but you don't see what he's doing with his left. Because
and
yeah,
yeah,
like the plan for black men, he dangling with his right hand, but the other bullshit he was doing was left hand, and nobody was paying attention what he's doing with the left hand. You
yeah.
know,
They,
it's
they,
always on some, you know, yeah.
nah, there's no question about it. But a lot of people, when we, just bringing it back to what we're talking about here in this space, you have a lot of people here who are more dedicated towards keeping things stagnant,
As they are, yeah, as they are,
not
yeah.
not moving forward, um, keeping it on a de-evolutionary path, and leaving them to be, the thought leaders with respect to that, because it's easy to lead, those who really don't know what's going on, and those who are kind of broken and hurt, and many who don't want to push themselves to that next level. And when I say that next level is next level in developing yourself to really achieve what you want to achieve. You're not going to achieve it by being in a red pill rage, or sitting around here getting mad at some black females. I would look at some of these black women who are messed up. I just look at them, keep it
You move on.
moving, keep it moving, and not
It's
waste
it's
time.
here's the thing. Some of
Not
these
waste
women,
time.
and some of these women that some of these guys are going or trying to shame, blame, explain. They don't even know him. Never even met him. Cause why?
Oh,
Why you mad? You know?
and you look at them. They're angry. They're not that successful. They're not making much. They're not doing a whole lot, but they're sitting around angry, angry at these folks, and they're trying to make whatever they can on the internet, man, by pushing that and getting the same frustrated, angry folks around who are not dedicated to building themselves. And talk to or most very productive brothers that are out here moving forward. And say productive doesn't mean you're getting a PhD or you're getting a doctorate. It's people who are, who are getting whatever certifications they have, or getting whatever training, or moving up in their jobs and positions, and learning and pushing forward. They're not wasting time on these channels sitting here listening to a lot of this craziness, and getting angrier and getting more upset, and bringing them to know, not into a better place. So, that's what we really want to talk about. You have to understand what's going on politically. You have to understand what's going on. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
what
sorry.
happened?
I'm sorry. I dropped for a second.
You went.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I was
yeah,
like, all right, what happened?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You have to understand what's going on politically, economically in your community. You got to stay somewhat knowledgeable about what's going on. You got to be somewhat up on things, and you have to continue to move. You have to
Mm,
continue to move. I see something in the chat room. I'm not buying the old man second chance thing. Who was it? Colonel Sanders. He didn't develop Kentucky Fried Chicken until I think he was 62 years old, and you know, and
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like yeah,
and
like
and
you're
and
right.
and
Like yeah, like
and
you're
and and
right.
and, and, and he became a multimillionaire. Like
Yeah,
that, and there've been a
yeah.
lot of stories like that. So May, I would have to say you're very much off the mark on that. In fact, men in their biggest money making years between the ages of 40 and 65. So anyway, because it takes a little time to learn things out here. This is a kind of a complex game. At times you want to live for the simplicities to a large extent, but the complexities are out here, and people make mistakes, and you have to redevelop yourself sometimes, because you do
Mm-hmm.
take hits, and then you got to re redevelop, and that's kind of what MGTOW was about as well. Is getting back up on that
it's like
getting back up on that path. So
it's like
but anyway, go ahead.
it's like the whole, and I'm about to leave here because it's getting,
Go ahead, yeah.
it's getting late. But it's like the late bloomer. Like Morgan Freeman did not started acting when he was in his 20s. He acted when he was like in his 30s. I mean, there was like
Yeah.
that when he played Malcolm X. He was one of the first actors that played Malcolm X. I think he played Malcolm X back in the 70s, and I got that movie somewhere. It's called The Death of the Prophet. So he was in his 30s playing Malcolm X, and then you got people like Samuel Jackson. He started late.
I mean,
you got people who start late, and then they grew.
Yeah, so it's not all age dependent, and people who are caught
Right.
into that, that's a trick bag. You can't pay too much attention to that either.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it is all about self development, developing, and if you with a group of people that are kind of developing the same, that's even better. Where you get things, if you move from a synergistic perspective, that's a great thing, and that's kind of what this is all about, keeping people. You know, people who are trying to stop progress and so forth. You really want to avoid those. You really want to avoid that because it's not going to take you. It's not going to take you anywhere from a productive perspective, and you're not going to benefit, not in the long run. But anyway, listen, man, I appreciate you letting me up. I really do.
The gum. I appreciate you coming up here. I ain't talked to you in a long. I ain't talked to you when you was on. I think you was on MOTs, or was it the Black Brain Trust?
Yeah. The Brain Trust. Those are those are channels that are really more geared towards that, and that's why I really more segue there, because it's really more trying to get put out get good information, learn a lot of things, and really help brothers kind of think more forward and look more progressively at things, as opposed to sitting around getting mad at just mad at women all day long and complaining about them. There's a ceiling on that. You can only go so far with that.
Right.
You can only go so far.
I'm more into creating policy. I actually, I was talking about. I don't know if you saw my video on reparations, and I had an idea how to create such a system on that, and then I'm more interested in policy, in changing the how I think if we change policy, I think the lives of boys, young men will change. I mean, everybody would benefit, but primarily to get boys to be more accomplished, because I think the problem is men did not evolve, women did. Women evolved since 1945. Men didn't evolve to the level to where women's at, and we need to make sure that men are equal to women in the areas of education and jobs, and I ain't saying everybody had to have a college degree, but I'm talking about when it comes to be self-efficient, and on that level is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I would certainly agree. We see that across the board with men of every race. Kind of falling back from there a little bit. So, that certainly has to be better addressed. There's some issues in our educational system, in our society, that are somewhat playing a role in that. But but you can't sit back and make a big excuse out of that as well. We still have to consistently push forward and develop. We can't sit around and say it's all the women and all of this, because it's there's not a lot stopping you from going to school. There's not a lot really holding you back from improving yourself to even get a better job and so forth. There's not a lot kind of getting in your way. Now, from a policy perspective, you're looking at this new administration that's coming in that are looking at going against some of those policies as well, to really try to slow you down. So that's why you have to be aware what's going on out here. But from a policy perspective, yeah, we want to work with those that are going to push policies that are going to help to better that situation as opposed to harm it or damage it, and then sit back and salute it when it happens. Madness, but
Right.
but that's
Right.
but that's kind of what we're looking at. But anyway, Big J, hey, listen, man, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate you speaking
Mm-hmm.
to me for a little bit. I didn't come in here to blast or say a whole lot. I just wanted to come in and,
Well,
and talk.
I'm glad though. I'm glad though, man. You dropped by. I'm glad you
All right,
dropped by and everything, and you brought you kind of bring the calm, and that's what I like. You brought the calm, and you brought some leadership, and I respect that. So you know,
it's greatly appreciated.
right,
Appreciate a lot of stuff that you're doing as well.
all
And
right,
yeah, listen, good night, and good night to the chat as well. You guys
all
have a
right
great.
then, all right
All right,
then,
thank you,
all
my
right
friend.
then, y'all, all right then, y'all. Well, I'm gonna end this live stream, y'all, and I might go live maybe in 2 hours or so, because somebody want to talk to me. Um, so yeah, I might go live in 2 hours because I'm off tonight. So yeah, I got time, and I'm gonna speak to the brothers from Great Britain. Um, we gotta talk about something over there. Anyway, I'm out, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.